My rich girlfriend found out my parents were poor, so she decided to break up with me. Now her father works for me. Part 3. When I stepped onto the stage, I saw both of them looking into each other's eyes. Jenny and her father. How was this possible? I heard them muttering under their breath. Hearing Jenny's father say, "How did this janitor's son make it this far?" I gave a speech and then went over to both of them. I asked if they enjoyed the meal and the ceremony my assistant had prepared. He said he was very surprised to see me get this far and that he was happy for me. I didn't believe a word of it. The worst was Jenny. She started talking to me as if I had always been her best friend. Honestly, she disgusted me. She asked me how I managed to get here. So I told her I had worked hard. She was physically touching me, laughing and joking, saying she always believed in me. But I knew it was because I had become wealthy. So she disgusted me. My assistant hinted that I had to prepare for my upcoming meeting. So my car was waiting, and so was my driver. I told them both to enjoy the ceremony my assistant had prepared for them. I left. As I said goodbye, I asked my assistant to gather all the information on Jenny and her father. Apparently, her father had severe financial problems due to his gambling addiction. He was so addicted that they had to sell their house in Florida and one of their cars. As for Jenny, she was now married to the man she left me for. He owned a grocery store in a building, and Jenny was a dental hygienist in a dental office. Time passed, and I received a message from a number I didn't recognize. It was Jenny's. She was messaging me to reconnect. She was flirting with me. It deeply disgusted me, but I played along. I agreed to flirt with her, and for weeks and weeks, I recorded the conversation and asked my assistant to compile it into a file. Also, I went to meet my old childhood friend, who now owned the building where Jenny's husband had his store. I traded that building in exchange for lands he had his eye on. After months of negotiations, I finally acquired the building. I was then going to send a message to Jenny's husband, telling him he could no longer stay here since I owned it. Of course, no one knew who I was, so he would have to leave without knowing it was me. I continued to collect the flirtatious messages I had not sent. I was holding on to my revenge.